is Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamline Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois, here on the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. Wow, you got angry about that last one.
Did I?
Yeah, you were kind of like, you know, the words Mark Miller and Ultimate Avengers just seems to...
No, Mark Miller sucks. Yeah, and that whole like twist about the Red Skull is Captain America's son.
Yeah, I know.
Please,
I know.
fucking ridiculous.
I know. This is just, you know, meh.
Again, it's all for shock value.
Yeah.
And wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that he did that.
Let's get back into the 616 universe with Amazing Spider-Man number 602 with a nice Adi Granov cover there. Mm-hmm. You know, that's Mary Jane, I take it, right?
Who else would it be?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it doesn't look like Mary Jane, but except that she has red hair. You know, so that is it's his wife modeling in like all his covers. It's like his wife. We get into back in the 616 universe where Spider-Man, after a whole bunch of all the personal conflict that Peter Parker goes, finds himself going hat in hand to, of all people, yet again, J. Jonah Jameson, who is now the mayor of New York City, to work in the City Hall photography corps, which, quite frankly, is kind of a... I have never heard of City Hall having a photographer's corps or whatever. I used to work for the city, and I don't remember that.
Every city is different, though.
Yeah, every city is different, I guess. We have that, and we have the return of Gilligan. Yeah, Gilligan showing up there. We have the return of the Chameleon.
Yes.
With the Chameleon coming in and taking over the lives of different people so that he can infiltrate City Hall. Because I'm telling you, if you want power, you got to get into City Hall. Well, it's kind of neat. In the beginning, this issue is written by Fred Van Lente, who gave us Marvel Zombies 4. Really rockin' book, and a lot of great Marvel adventure stuff. He is no stranger to Spider-Man. This is a book where nothing is what it seems to be, what it appears to be.
No.
Spider-Man, in the very beginning here, is chasing after Slide, the supervillain who's frictionless. And trying to capture him, but what does this end up happening? Spoiler alert! Stop now if you haven't read this issue yet.
It's not really that big.
It's not really that big a deal, but still, turns out being a police officer, the police are going undercover as villains, so that when Spider-Man comes after them, they can arrest them. Mm-hmm. There seems to be something kind of bizarre about that.
Well, it's Jameson. That's Jameson's little corps that he got together just to...
Don't get me wrong, that's true. You're right. It's Jameson, with an axe to grind, but still, if you're a cop and you know that if you dress up like a villain, that Spider-Man's going to come after you, why do you have anything against Spider-Man? Spider-Man fights bad guys. You're dressing up like a bad guy.
Well, it's because the mayor of New York City told him to go do it.
Well, it's also the Registration Act is still in effect, right? I mean, it's still, that hasn't changed at all. So, in either case, in this book, you have all those little complications, and Mary Jane is also coming back into Peter Parker's life. Who's the roommate? I missed issue 601 where he's supposed... Well, For those who were wondering if Peter Parker had a one-night stand, he comes out and says it in issue 602. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. There were some comments that, it's kind of vague, you're not sure if it actually happened. No, it actually did happen. So, who is the person that he supposedly slept with? Or that he did sleep with?
The sister of his old roommate, who is now in jail. Because he used to room with a cop. Yeah. I'm not going to go into the story. If you would just read the fucking comics, you would know. But what happened was he had a roommate who was a cop, and the cop they were killing people, and he got sent to jail. That's a short version. And then the sister decided she needed a place to live, so the cop's sister is now living with him, and so that's what's going on.
So they got, and I remember there was this big deal made a while back about J. Michael Straczynski, he wanted to make it that Gwen and Peter had slept together back when they were dating, years ago.
No, what he did is that Gwen and Harry Osborn slept together.
That's what happened, but he wanted to make it Peter and Gwen, and he was forced to change that.
Yeah, I do.
He was forced to change that.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening.
And that's what they ended up doing.
Which is like 100 times worse.
Yeah.
She slept with Harry Osborn, and then they had kids, and then that whole bullshit.
But see, that was the thing, is that she was...
That was another great Joe Quesada thing.
Yeah.
He's the one that actually did that.
But see, that's the thing I don't get. If Peter Parker was supposed to be so chaste back then that, he wouldn't have had sex outside of marriage, bam... You just went out. You just threw that rule out the window with this sort of thing. So
and somebody else made a comment on our board. I'm trying to remember who it was, but they were saying that at San Diego or was it in New York? Or it's one of the conventions. I forgot that someone brought up the fact that
why did Peter Parker couldn't be married while he was saying
because all these stories could have been easily told while he was married, and then Joe Quesada got all pissed off about it because Joe Quesada was the one that you can't tell him more good Spider-Man stories because he's married.
There has yet to be a single story here where he had to be a single guy to tell it. It made no sense.
Well, they could have been just separated because him and Mary Jane were separated for the longest time. Big fucking deal.
Yeah, or even divorced.
And I said this on the blog. You wait and see. Fucking in issue 600, Aunt May got married. No more good stories with Aunt May. It's done. They're gonna retcon that shit in 6 to 12 issues. Just wait and see.
One really good thing about this book, sorry we got off topic, but one thing really good about this book, Fred Van Lente sets up this really cool cliffhanger. This really cool cliffhanger where the chameleon, after he takes you over and becomes you, he disposes of you. Or it appears that he disposes of you.
Yeah, I don't know how this is actually working because... you look over here and it's like as soon as he goes down, he's in the acid or whatever.
Yeah.
And Peter's halfway into it.
Right. It's a Temple of Doom. Remember in Temple of Doom when Willie Scott, when the first guy got lowered into the volcano, he automatically got blown into flames, but Willie Scott gets dropped in.
But I mean, he's halfway into it by now. It's his torso is just all just skeleton.
Yeah, he should be dead. I mean, Peter Parker really should be dead, but that's not going to be the case. So we'll see. Fun book. I don't know.
No, I'm liking it.
It's okay, but I don't know. Again, back to the point of this whole thing.
Yeah, and Mary Jane knows who Spider-Man is. They talked about it in the last issue. That was the big reveal at the end of number 601. So now the Avengers know who Spider-Man is, Fantastic Four, and Mary Jane. So, why the fuck?
What's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point?
Exactly. And I have a feeling that Mary Jane remembers the marriage, too.
That's going
to be the whole thing. Because she's the one that ended up making the deal with Mephisto on Peter's behalf. So she knows everything. And the fact that that's pretty cold. That's cold-blooded.
You got to see your husband, because in your own mind, you're still married. You see your husband running around, shacking up with other women.
Yeah, well, she was shacking up with some dude a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe she doesn't remember. Maybe she doesn't remember then.
No, I think she does.
Think she does? Yeah.
We'll see. Because if she does, that's going to be pretty terrible. Because she's married to Peter Parker, and if she does remember it, I mean, why else would she know that he's Spider-Man? I'm sorry, but no one knows. No one's supposed to know who Spider-Man is until he reveals it to that person. Mm. So I think that she has all of her memories.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a whole nother segment. We could just talk about how wrong that is. That they're actually supposed to be married, and she's dating other people. And
that's been beaten to death. That's been beaten.
Has it?
Yeah. On other boards. All right.
No other boards matter.
I agree. Okay, folks. We'll end this there, and we'll see you in the next segment. We hope you return.